Content warning. This podcast is intended for a mature audience. Contains graphic descriptions of violence and explicit language.
Hello, friends, and welcome back to Pods of the Multiverse. We're an unofficial D&D podcast where four friends play D&D. We are so glad to have you back at the table for our 5th season. I'm Andy, the DM for our adventures in the world of Theros. Let's go ahead and reintroduce my friends and the players for this game.
I'm Jimmy. I play Gron, the Minotaur Barbarian.
My name is Geppi. I play Klyx, the Leonin Rogue.
And I'm Scala. I play Paravex, the heretic.
Thank you so much for listening to all of our bonus content the past couple of weeks. Without further ado, let's jump into Return to Theros. Here we go.
Year 2.
Year 2.
Many months have passed since the events that transpired in Akros. Since then, your heroic tale has been whispered across the region, but the thread of fate that brought you together did not end there. You have found yourself in a new chapter of this odyssey, bound by purpose to gods and promise to friends. The two of you have found yourself in the busy polis of Meletis. Days of travel and an even longer time gathering information have led you to the amphitheater, where you have reason to believe that Atris, the Oracle of Phenax, will be performing. Meletis is a polis devoted to learning, magic, and progress. It is the most populous city-state in all of Theros and home to progressive thinkers and wise oracles. Born from the defeat of tyranny, to this day it pursues the ideals of free thought, social betterment, and reinvention over stagnation. The view as you reach the hill where the amphitheater rests is idyllic. From the clear waters of the Bay of Meletis, guarded by the gargantuan statues of the first Meletian kings, to the Dekiata, the preeminent academy for philosophy, rhetoric, and arcana, to the crown jewel of the polis, the towering Pyrgnos, a literal shrine to the sum of all learning and scholarship, which overlooks the entirety of the Siren Sea from the highest cliffside vantage. All manner of humanoid populate Meletis, from human to leonin, centaur, triton, satyr, and even more evenly mannered minotaur. Even enigmatic eidolons from time to time can be found living out their semi-corporeal days within these polis walls. Yet among all this bright and high society, a shadow lurks. It began for you with a lead, then a clue, then a journey, and now you are here. For revenge? Answers? Perhaps. But destiny. Ultimately destiny, and its God herself has beckoned you to finish your destined path, that of mending the very destiny of Theros, and ridding it of those who would twist that destiny for their own foul designs. So, you see this entire vista as you are greeted by the gates of this amphitheater. Why don't we go ahead and re-describe this dynamic duo?
Well, Gron went first in Season 1. Only fair that Gron go first in Season 5.
Okay. Gron is a Minotaur. Gron is as beefy as ever. He's got his traveling clothes on. He's well equipped for this. Spent most of the first part of his life traveling. This is really no different, but he's never really been this far south before, taking in all the new sights. He's wearing a bit more of a mature look about his face now, having experienced a lot more about the world in the past year than in the 20 years preceding that.
Very cool.
Wow, Gron's a baby.
Gron's like 22.
An audience with Perforos might do that to you, too. Also worth noting that Gron is starting this campaign off in a much better spot. You don't have any shackles to spend 5 turns getting rid of, do you?
Just the opposite. I've got all my gear all over my body.
This is great. Yeah. So Klyx is still the Leonin you remember, still without a mane, still hiding his face beneath a robe, but now does so under the guidance of Krufix, god of horizons. And as such, while his appearance may not have changed, he has donned new robes. Where once he had tattered brown robes, now he has a resplendent purple robe bespeckled with white starlight so as to signify his continued growing devotion to Krufix.
Great. So, from here, the two of you can look down into the inside of this outdoor stadium layout and see the stage far below you, flanked by resplendent blue curtains, It is currently empty, save for one hooded figure standing perfectly still, as if in prayer at center stage. And as you approach these gates, you see the large audience is gathering in murmured, excited tones. What do the two of you do?
So there is an audience, but in the stage is only one person? I just want to make sure I got that description right.
Right, so as if you are entering before a play.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, they're about to give a soliloquy.
What do we know about this place?
Both of you go ahead and roll a general intelligence for me, and Klyx, for reasons we may or may not find out in a little while, you can go ahead and roll this with advantage.
7.
14.
Cool. So the amphitheater is generally a very diverse place. It's known to hold everything from plays and musical performances, drama and comedy and satire, to a debating stage, but it is also known, Klyx, I think, would have discovered, as somewhat of a secretive place for handoffs, private meetings, various political espionage within Melitus, and as such, it is definitely a spot you have discovered to be rife with followers of Phenax.
Okay. Still your thoughts. Stay out of sight. And then I'd like to just do a general perception check. You said it's an amphitheater, but is there a backstage or a staircase anywhere that the cast and crew would go?
Go ahead and give me perception.
Theoretically bad at this. Yep, it's a 5.
Sorry, go ahead and give me perception. And again, Klyx, I'll ask for this with advantage for reasons we do not yet know.
It's a 13.
Okay, so the way you're looking now, you're in the back middle of the stadium seating configuration, this large open space and this very deep bowl that goes down into the earth. And you see the stage, there are curtains, and you can see a bit that there are indeed wings, almost, that lead to some sort of a backstage. And on that roll, you managed to gain some information ahead of this journey that would lead you to believe that backstage somewhere there is a way into a much larger underground compound.
This feels familiar. It's almost like a homebrew game we did.
Trying not to...
I would never just recycle the exact same...
Oh my god, no.
What?
No,
Who does that?
Not all of us besides me, the one that hasn't done a home game. Okay, cool. The comment Klyx made to Gron stands as Klyx points to the stage towards that back area opening. This is where we need to go. I think if we weave in and out of the audience, we might get there undetected.
I look around a little bit at all the people around me. I'm probably a foot higher than a lot of the people around me. Maybe you could go alone? Take this one yourself?
Maybe I'll go. I'll make a distraction. Let you do your best.
All right. You know what? I'm not as bad at stealth as I thought I was. I don't wear armor.
You have natural armor. You're not at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
It's not like the Green Warden, who is really just clunking along.
That's right. It's not like Jib either. Kron can be stealthy if he needs to. On a second thought, let's just go.
I'll lead us in this. This is more of Klyx's thing. I'll just weave in and out of the crowd, going through the rows of seating, hunkering down until we get as close to the wings of the stage as we can.
Great. So this is going to be a group stealth check.
Oh, you're welcome, Jimmy. So you can go ahead and absorb whatever I'm about to roll.
Rolls a 3.
It was a relatively not phenomenal roll, but it is a 22.
Nice.
9.
The mod is a 10.
Do you have your cloak on?
Wow, all the things I forgot to put. Yeah, let me roll this with advantage. Thank you. It's a different story. That's a 28. Klyx will just say, like me, except for this part, as he throws his cloak over his shoulders and makes his way into the audience.
Well, Gron got a 9, and so he's going to throw this cloak over his head, makes a little tent between his horns.
Right. This bright red Akroan cloak.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Great. Well, the two of you begin to make your way through this audience. They're starting to settle into their various benches and seats. You can see a few dozen box seats up in the high outer walls of this space, and you proceed through the audience towards the wings, seemingly unnoticed. Go ahead and roll me another perception check, the two of you.
Am I getting this one with advantage or no?
This is a flat.
8.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you approach the stage on those rolls, all you notice is the silence that has fallen over the entire audience.
Wait a minute. Don't move anymore just yet.
Okay.
As you notice this, you are halfway down the bowl of this amphitheater when you see the figure, hooded, look up from their silent prayer and shout over the crowd.
Honorable patrons, one and all, behold, bid thee welcome.
It appears as though this figure is beginning, indeed, a soliloquy. What do you do?
Does this voice sound familiar?
Well, go ahead and roll me insight.
Theoretically bad at this, but I rolled a 17. My mod is 0.
Wow, this is not even funny at this point. 5.
Oh no.
I haven't rolled a double-digit number yet.
Well, Gron may have some selective memory going on of this particular voice, but Klyx, you would definitely recognize this voice. As they continue.
Swift as a shadow, short as any dream, brief as the lightning in the pallid night, that in a spleen unfolds both heaven and earth, and ere a man hath power to say, behold.
And he points directly at the two of you. Let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh shit.
Wow, that was a good show.
You say I do recognize the voice. Is this the voice of Atris?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Atris, right?
Atris,
Atris,
yeah.
sorry. I got a 15.
That's good. 18.
Great. As we begin this scenario, he continues,
Our muses have arrived.
and you see he bows towards both of you, and the entire audience turns their heads towards you, revealing returned masks.
Oh fuck.
Okay, great. The whole audience. This should be easy.
You see his form begin to dart directly behind him towards back center stage, but he rolled quite low on his initiative, and so we begin with Gron. You see, indeed, this figure with the voice of Atris now fleeing directly behind this large crowd of people with seemingly returned masks. What do you do?
Can I get to him in 40 feet?
Go ahead and roll perception.
It's a nat 20.
Amazing.
Ooh.
So you are halfway through the crowd here. They're all staring directly at you through these masks. To the stage, it is 30 feet. And then with that nat 20, I'll tell you the stage is another 20 feet deep. He was standing in the middle of it, more or less. And like I said, he is only just beginning to turn and back away from this scene.
I want to just get to him as fast as possible, I think.
Sure.
I think I have a way to do that as a Minotaur here. Okay. I am going to move and dash. Get to him real quick.
As you go to move and dash through this crowd, I need you to make an athletics or acrobatics check as they try and grab out at you in these sudden and violent motions.
Okay, this ought to be good. That's 25.
Great. So this will not impose difficult terrain, as you are able to just shove and push your way through this crowd. So you're able to get to this figure. You see this hooded figure, black and dark blue robes.
Okay, I'm going to attack him with my horns as a bonus action because I dashed.
Okay. Right, because you're using the dash as the action.
That's right.
Amazing. All right, go for it.
Okay, and this is with advantage because of reckless attack.
Very good.
Oh my god, that's 2 nat 1s.
No! Jimmy!
Nice.
Oh my god, just really starting this campaign off.
That's such a fucking bummer, too.
Oh man.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Of course, I roll a nat 20 on a perception check, and then...
Oh man.
God damn it.
Sorry.
I'll try again next turn.
As you lunge forward with your horns, you see this figure is able to evade your charge, but you are still next to him. As we go to Klyx.
Okay, so I was able to clock the fact that these returned only seem to be grabbing, but no daggers, no attacks are coming out as a result of this. So
That is what you saw so far. If you want to give me
what I
another
saw.
perception or insight check, you can.
they're both fucking junk. But insight feels more right here. It's the same outcome either way. It's a 15.
Okay, you look at these, and actually in a 15, that's just going to make this bar. You can tell that something's not quite the same. You've encountered returned before in the wild, and these appear to be citizens, audience members, whomever, adorned in these masks. Maybe they're props, maybe they're illusion, you can't really tell. But right on this 15 check, you can see that they're not truly returned. Something else is going on here.
Okay. Imposters. Whatever. And I'm going to do the same thing Gron did, only my dash will be with a bonus action.
Nice. So that's going to be an acrobatics check.
So 27.
Awesome. Absolutely. You are unhindered as they try and claw and lash out at you.
Yeah. Klyx weaves in and out of these people, nimbly avoiding their lunges and their grabs as opposed to shoving through in the way Gron did.
Very nice.
And I make it to this unnamed, but I think I know who this is, foe, and I'm going to just attack with my action.
Okay.
That is a total of 25 to hit.
That will hit.
Would I be afforded sneak attack based on the positioning of Gron, or?
For sure.
Okay. That is 24 slashing damage.
Awesome. You slash into this figure.
Yes, I was hoping you would come. I even prayed to the gods. And here you are. Now the show can begin.
And you see, as a reaction, they're going to Misty Escape. In response to taking damage, they immediately shimmer and turn invisible and move. You see the curtains part, middle of the backstage, as this happens, and you can no longer see them.
Okay.
That's the end of Klyx's turn. This figure has disappeared, and now you see the crowd. All of these faces turn all at once at you. And one by one, individuals slowly walk out of the crowd and up towards the stage. I am going to need the two of you to make me wisdom saving throws as beneath these returned masks, lights flash out towards you.
19.
2.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So, Gron, you pass, but Klyx, you fail, and you are restrained by this hold person.
Sick. Cool.
And so, someone takes a turn that you do not see, and we are back to the top with Gron. You see these figures coming towards you, but you've seen this figure, presumably Atris, has disappeared somewhere.
Okay. Does it seem like they're going to come hurt us?
Give me insight.
It's only a 7.
They don't appear to have any weapons on them.
Then will you allow me to make some kind of intimidating gesture towards them and hold my action if I see Atris again?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to draw the blood axe of fury and brandish it threateningly towards the returned masks.
Nice.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll intimidation.
All right. I hope this goes well. It didn't. That's a 9.
Oh, no. You brandish this intimidating weapon, and for a moment it seems like the handful that have now approached the edge of the stage stop, but very quickly that passes, and they continue walking towards you. I'll still let you move or do anything else, also. I don't want to take that whole turn away from you there.
Well, I am feeling boxed in. I'm going to enter my rage.
Nice.
I'm going to grip the blood axe of fury. Glows slightly red, and my eyes glow a similar red. And how close is the closest one?
So that would be the edge of the stage, 10 feet away.
As I enter my rage, I'm going to need one of these return mask figures to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. They got a 4.
All right, that fails. And they're going to take 6 lightning damage.
Amazing. That is plenty of damage to fell this commoner, as you see the illusory mask shatters and they fall to the ground unconscious.
Okay. Yeah, that was not able to be non-lethal, so we'll see what happens there.
Now, just from that damage, I have to roll something for this crowd. The concentration on hold person maintains.
Okay. Yeah, all right. I'm going to swing out with non-lethal force. Just going to hit one of these.
Okay. Nice.
Still reckless. That's 23 to hit.
Absolutely hits.
For 16 slashing damage. And another 4 necrotic, because why not?
Yes. Great. So you shock one with this lightning form of your rage, and you slash into another one. They are immediately felled, this noble. And I have to make another concentration check. How much damage total was that?
20, 16, and 4.
Okay, and as you slash through, Klyx, you are freed from the hold person.
Beautiful.
Gron, is there anything else you would like to do?
Yeah, there's another attack.
Amazing.
Doing this again. 26 to hit.
That definitely hits.
It does. And that is 13 more slashing damage. Let off some lightning, smash 2 of these guys, knocking them out.
This is another noble, and they are immediately knocked out.
Awesome. Just slashing my way through this crowd.
Very cool.
Blood Axe of Fury!
Yes.
My favorite metal album. Love
Very
that
cool.
shit.
Gron, as you are taking this turn, as you shout out, something triggers in your mind, and your memory flashes back a few weeks. You are walking the high walls of the Colophon with Paravex by your side, your matching regal Akroan cloaks billowing in the arid wind. He stops, overlooking Akros beneath you, and says, "I can't go with you. I would want nothing more than to follow you into the fray of adventure once more, but I'm sorry, my brother, my destiny has bound me here," as he looks back towards you.
I mean, you could just say it's too dangerous and you're scared. You could be honest.
You listen to me, brother. You know I would want nothing more. He raises his once injured arm, now a bit better, as he clenches his fist, putting his hand behind his back. Listen to me. My lineage is important to the history of this polis. I didn't choose that. You know that. But I must fulfill my duties as a lectoi. He twists with his other hand in his fingers the Ram Signet Ring. A group of flame speakers has returned to the Citadel. They've proclaimed that they've seen a vision. You can hear him stammering as he tries to collect his thoughts, of a glorious Akroan future. What I mean to say, Gron, they have seen me betrothed.
Oh, it's like that then. Well, who is it?
Like I said, Gron, it is duty I have been thrust into. I am to be betrothed to Tyrannica.
Oh, I mean, how do you feel about that?
He looks back over Akros. What I feel is to the oracles and the rest of these people here, not much consolation, I'm afraid. I told you already, I'd much rather continue at your side. Adventuring, surviving.
Well, yeah, you know, we got plenty of time for that in the future. And I got Klyx for traveling. You know, you got bigger things going on now.
Well, they are certainly bigger, though I pray to Erois and Clothis that it is the destiny I am meant to fulfill. Part of me thinks, Gron, from what I know, from what I learned, Akros and the Regent Tyrannica and the Citadel and all of the oracles that remain here, if only there was some way to find the true queen, the missing queen, maybe this destiny would not be the one that is meant for me. But that is not my place to say now. Go ahead and roll me, Gron, history or insight.
11.
Okay. You can definitely remember that he is referring to the still missing Queen Cymede, who you met her king.
Yes, Annex.
That's right, Annex. And it would seem, even on that 11, that you don't know whether or not they are giving up the search for the queen, but it would seem that they are placing Paravex and Tyrannica together as a new destined future for the leadership in Akros.
Okay. Wait, does this mean you're going to be the king of Akros?
If they determine the search for Queen Cymede to be over, perhaps, but more likely some sort of acting regent consort or a steward of Akros.
Sounds boring.
He places his hand on the hilt of his gladius. Tell me about it. He gives you a pat on the back. I do hope you have fun on your adventure. And your vision flashes back as the audience members in front of you are flung to the ground by your savage attacks.
Yeah.
As we go to Klyx.
All right. The ones still walking towards us, how far away are they?
Well, Gron felled the ones nearest to the stage, so the rest of the crowd is still 10 feet off the stage and then another 10 or 20 feet back off of that into the pit.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll me insight or perception.
It's a 12.
Okay, on a 12, basically you see this crowd. It's pretty big. There's 80 or 100 people here.
Fuck. Okay.
So, you know that the figure, likely Atris, vanished, But even on that roll, you remember the billowing of the curtains behind you as they disappeared.
Okay. I'm going to use half of my movement to get 10 feet of the remaining people.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just going to say, stay where you are, which turns into a roar as I use my bonus action to use Daunting Roar on all of them.
Hell yeah. Okay, nice. What's the fucking range on that?
Anything within 10 feet, no cap on how many people.
I see. Very good. I am going to make this a collective roll, of which they roll a total of 10.
They fail.
Okay, so I will say about 8 or so are immediately stunned in fear.
Excellent. Yeah, wanted to get a little bit of control of that situation, So I'll use the other half of my movement to turn the other way and then action to dash.
Awesome.
I don't know where that gets me in terms of the stage itself.
What direction are you heading? Right, left, or center?
I would head for whatever direction I saw the parting occur.
Yeah, so that was center.
Yeah, I'm heading towards center stage then.
And you're using a full movement to do this.
I'm using the other half of my movement, which is, you can round it down to 15, and then another 35 as a dash action. So 50.
All right, so you get to this curtain at the back of the stage. I'm going to need you, before you use any of the rest of your movement here, to make me an investigation or perception check.
Investigation it is. Yeah, that is a 19.
Hell yeah. You are able to quickly find the part in this central curtain and push it aside as you are able to now see the backstage behind this curtain. And quickly glancing, go ahead and give me another perception check before you decide where to spend the rest of that movement.
18 perception.
Okay, so you now see this backstage. To the right of you, a long corridor which leads to something that might look like a storeroom. There are crates and various costumes hung up. And to the left, it seems a similar corridor that leads to what look like large set pieces. Various columns and painted trees and landscapes. But also on that roll, you can see that a few of those set pieces seem to be knocked over. You still have your entire dash worth of movement.
Okay, so it's 35 feet. I mean, my insight is telling me that Atris would go to a place where they could do some manipulative shit with environmental effects and all that mind fuckery that they do. But I'm going to head in that direction and let me know what I have to roll when I enter there. I'm assuming it's something.
Okay, you head towards the backdrops. You have enough movement to arrive there. Now, before you finish your turn, give me one more investigation or perception check.
It's a very gross, dirty 20.
Well, as it happens, 20 is the DC to see, in the middle of these pieces that have been knocked aside, a trapdoor.
Excellent.
So that is all of Klyx's turn. As you look down at this trapdoor, your memory also flashes back.
Of me being a dick. All my memories.
Perhaps jaunted by one of the trees knocked over, you're sitting beneath a secluded juniper tree within the citadel of Akros, a place you have taken to when communing in your own way with the god of horizons. Why don't you go ahead and describe how you go about your communion as it developed over these months?
Yeah, Klyx in this memory still had his old robes, but nonetheless hunkered down into them differently than when he would use disguise self. This is more sitting in a measured pose on the ground, his legs out in front of him, and just look up to the sky. Whether that sky is adorned with stars or the promise of sunlight through the horizon, and then just making sure that he's found a quiet place. Places of seclusion are known to be more, for lack of a better word, effectual for worship and communion with Kruphix, such as a shoreline or a shady tree. But that's really it. Nothing else fancy or special about those moments.
Very cool. You still your mind as you look to the sky, out through the trees' evergreen branches, across this vast horizon beyond the walls of the polis, and in your mind's eye, you see his four-armed form standing beside you and this tree. One of his hands extends toward a nearby branch where a small cluster of berries has begun to grow.
Consider understanding as we know it, everything that has ever been known on this world. All the knowledge, every story, every secret. Where does the horizon begin? Where does the boundary of this world end? The underworld. Nyx, somewhere else. A thought has taken root, seeded within my very being.
He lowers his arm down towards you.
A question I cannot yet answer. Why can't I understand the Nightmare Muse's purpose in this world? Even now that their secret presence has been shown to me, so many questions spring forth from this thought I cannot begin to answer. Why? Why did they seek to subvert Mogus and his Minotaurs, to set them upon Akros with Titan's blood? Why did Klothys not see the tear upon her mighty seal, let alone predict the destiny that would unfold during that time? Her rage yet billows like the storm of Keranos, like the wrath of Mogus, or the heat of Heliod's brightest sunbeams.
You see now he looks down at you with starlight eyes.
Your time with her oracle has given you a great purpose here. Tell me your thoughts, Fate Thief.
I recognize that not many of us are granted an audience with you directly, and I appreciate that. In the spirit of that, I think it's worth having the courage to say, my meddlings with a follower of Klothys have proven fruitful. Perhaps something of the same at the cosmological level could be just as fruitful.
Do not forget, you reached out to me, Klyx. Yes, the cosmos, Nyx. It is thought that I alone possess a unique power to bend, Nyx. The other gods, my brothers and sisters, some of them fear this power. Some of them fear my knowledge. Some of them fear me. But they do not understand in the same way that we have come to understand. And that quest for knowledge will carry us beyond the horizon. Continue on this path, Klyx, for now the time of your departure from this place draws near.
Your meditation is interrupted by the arrival of a familiar face, Polymede. You see her feminine figure draped with red and blue robes, and her long black hair tied up in a messy, curly ponytail. Oh, I'm so sorry to interrupt. As I'm to understand it, you're to leave for Melitus. I hope your hunt for that wicked peddler of the god of deception's lies is successful. I managed to acquire the scroll on the amphitheater's design, as you asked, though I can't say why you would need such a detailed scrawling. She hands you a scroll, something of a blueprint of the very amphitheater you are in right now as you are having this flashback. Then this is farewell for now, I suppose, Klyx. May Krufix and Keranos guide your insight. You take this map and go ahead and make me an insight check with advantage as you unfold the scroll.
17.
Very good. This is a contested check against Atris to determine the course you think he may take through this amphitheater chase. The better your roll against his, the easier you may find the next leg of this sequence going. You beat his intelligence roll by 5.
Ooh.
And so all of the next checks you will make in this initiative will be made with advantage. And because you rolled so much better than him, I will also tell you this. As you unfold the map in this flashback, you can see that there is a bit that is shimmering, as if revealed by the figure of Krufix behind you. And that is that of a secret chamber in the basement of this amphitheater that has a statue and a reliquary to Phenax.
Awesome.
You flash out of this memory as we now go back out to Gron and the crowd, which will take their turn now. You see more come towards you, and I am going to need you, Gron, to make another wisdom saving throw.
All right. 13.
Okay. Gron, you are restrained by this hold person. You just failed this DC. As you can see, they begin latching out at you. You've cut down a number of these. They just seem like ordinary people, although under some sort of control or something. But their grip has some magical force to it, holding you in place as you are paralyzed. Someone else takes their turn, but Klyx, you are close enough. I'm going to need you to make a perception check.
Nice. That just almost became something worse. That's a 16.
Okay. You do, in fact, hear movement from the other side of this trapdoor as we go back to Gron. Unfortunately, Gron, you are paralyzed from this whole person.
Yep.
And so...
I just make the save then, right?
At the end of your turn, I'm going to need you to repeat the save.
I made it. 19.
Nice.
Yeah, that'll pass.
All right, great. That's the end of my turn, though.
Yes, but you're no longer paralyzed.
Nice.
Gron, as you save at the end of your turn, you see these faces staring back at you, their hands clambering back towards your feet as you step back. You have another flashback. You see yourself now with Klyx, arriving in Meletis. As you walk through its crowded streets, however, the amphitheater was not your first destination. As you gaze up towards the looming white columns that mark the entrance to the observatory, Meletis's somewhat version of Akros' citadel, and as such, the gathering place of Meletis's wisest oracles and scholars. You and Klyx enter, and you approach a group gathered sitting in front of a stone-carved tableau depicting Afara bestowing the gift of Arcana to mankind. And you see a woman with long black hair and a set of spectral arms, translucent and shimmering like Nyx, their hands covering their eyes. A conversation takes place between this group and you and Klyx. You ask them if they know anything about the missing Akroan Queen, and she responds with these words.
How strange. We sent the oracle from Akros, who visited these halls asking the same question, back to your noble polis a matter of months ago. How was it his words not returned to that place? Surely the sun's voice has taken this task himself. The Akroan Queen will be found when it is meant to be. Gods grant us this knowledge. Perhaps the true purpose of your journey here is linked to this quest as well? Perhaps another?
Go ahead and give me an insight check.
15.
Okay. When she says the sun's voice, she is pretty plainly referring to an oracle of Heliod. And on that insight check, I think perhaps Gron is smart enough at interpersonal relationships, at the very least, to suss out that if that oracle discovered something here in Meletis, and he hasn't been seen in Akros since, then there's a reason. Whether or not they chose to return to Akros, or something else has happened to them, there's definitely a reason that this information has not come back to Akros.
I don't know if Gron would know what to say to this. Well, so what do we do now?
Well, it would seem to me that this path that you are on has led you here, and as I am to understand it, you are pursuing someone. Perhaps, then, these paths shall meet, and these purposes shall bring you to the same place.
It does seem to work out that way.
I have been an oracle for a very long time, Gron, and I can tell you that these things, whether they seem serendipitous or not, are as they are meant to be.
Well, we got no choice but to believe you, so I guess our paths will cross when they do again.
Krufix, guide.
And your memory fades. As we go to Klyx.
I'm going to go through the trapdoor.
Hell yeah.
Consider my turns rolling whatever checks and heading in the direction I want to head in that's all I'm doing until I find Atris.
Very cool.
If I find Atris.
You go for this door, and I am going to need you to make a dex save.
Presumably good at this one. It's not 1.
Oh, no.
Total of 5.
Okay. You see the handle of this trapdoor as you reach for it. Sharp knives spring out around it towards your hand. You take 9 points of piercing damage.
You're full rogue, right, Klyx?
Yeah.
Okay. You do still take half because of evasion.
Right, I did get evasion. What happens if I also use uncanny dodge?
I don't think you can use that on an AoE.
Uncanny dodge is only an attack when you're hit with an attack.
Okay, got you.
But now that the trap is triggered, you can open this door.
Cool. I do that.
So you open the door.
All right, cool. Wait, how much damage did I take? I'm sorry.
9, so that would have been halved from evasion. That's 4.
Okay.
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Yep, you got it. I wince in pain. Focus, you idiot. And open the door, rolling. It's better than the last roll. This is a 2.
Oh, no.
Surveying the damage to my mangled hand as I quickly scan the room for immediate dangers.
Save for the bit of natural light that is coming through the trapdoor itself, the space beneath is completely dark.
All right. I said I was going to use all of my movement when I can. I'm going to hide in this darkness in case something lunges out at me, just make myself harder to hit.
Okay, so you jump down. You have dark vision, don't you?
I do.
Okay. It is completely dark, and if it weren't for your dark vision, you wouldn't even be able to tell that there is a floor beneath you as you jump down. But even so, you can still see a large space here that is just littered with props and tapestries and costumes. You see directly around you piles of returned masks. And beyond that, nothing at all. Now, you did remember the flashback that you had previously where you have a map of this place. So you can't see visually very much beyond where you are right now, but you know that somewhere down here there is a passage that leads to a secret chamber.
Okay. First thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to cop 2 of those return masks. Just swipe them real quick.
Okay.
Just with some object interaction. Those might come in handy later. Otherwise, I'm going to either mental map or to the ability that I can just use the map to make my way.
Okay, so for this, I'll say that this is difficult terrain. It is just littered with stuff, and you are able to get half of your movement through this space. Arms outstretched, that and the dark vision moving towards where you believe your foe to be heading.
And real quick, if I action dash, bonus action dash, is that a thing? Can I use 3 whole sets of movement?
Yes.
Okay. That would get me about 50 feet total this turn, if I just sink all of my turn economy into movement.
Great. You can absolutely do that.
Presuming all of it is difficult terrain, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, 50.
Actually, you move 30 feet down here, and you come to a wall. Go ahead and give me an investigation or insight check. This would have been with advantage because of the interaction you had with Polymede, because of the planning that you have been doing the months leading up to this. But this is just going to be a flat roll because of your previous perception check.
Yep, even flat, 16 though.
Nice.
Okay, somewhere on this wall is a hidden passage. So you are right there. That's your movement, your bonus action, and your action. And Klyx, you have another flashback in the heat of this chase.
Of course I do. As I'm slapping this wall for the trapdoor.
Yes.
Now would be the perfect time to remember some shit.
You are with Gron at the Observatory of Meletis. You're standing before a figure that you have had something of a very odd long-distance relationship with. This is Kaidali, an oracle of Krufix.
Okay.
You see her spectral hands covering her eyes, and in front of these hands, glowing silhouettes of glowing spectral eyes as she looks towards you. You and Gron and her have been discussing this Oracle of Heliod.
We assumed he would be returning to Akros. However, he did say, when he departed our company, that the sun had chosen a new destiny for himself, and that this land would behold his radiance. But as a follower of Krufix, I am sure you must know there is a difference between words and truths. I pray you'll heed this.
Yeah, another follower of Heliod, obsessed with strength, losing their way. What a surprise. We need to help this person? Is that it?
It is unclear to me at this point. However, one must remember Heliod's blessed martyr. Surely the legends of Elspeth reach even Akros.
Funnily enough, this can be history or religion check.
Nice, that's an 18.
Very cool. On an 18, perhaps from your studies at the Citadel, or perhaps from Krufix himself, you would remember Elspeth to be the fallen, martyred champion of Heliod,
Okay.
who slew the usurper god Xenagos, and then perished. Since then, no new champion of Heliod has formerly been prophesied by any of the oracles.
Okay, what's the importance of this oracle? You understand that we are here because there is something truly foul going on. Something that's been in play for much longer. I won't deny that there may be some importance to this oracle, but I'm gonna need more to go on if we're about to divert course from what we're doing here in Melitus.
Well, as I have just told your companion, perhaps your current chase will lead you to this knowledge. The Oracle of Heliod was here to receive a prophecy. They left, and with this knowledge have not since returned to your fair Akros. Surely, whatever he learned, this knowledge deserves to be discovered. Would you not agree, Horizon Walker?
All knowledge deserves to be discovered. What else are we doing here? The question, as I see it, is that there are many paths to that knowledge, some more ruinous than others. The other side of knowledge is preparedness, and I won't go venture off to some fool's errand unprepared on hearsay. We need to be measured, calculated about these things. That is my understanding of what our God of Horizons would want.
Then perhaps you should take this.
And she hands you a small pamphlet of sorts. It is something of an announcement poster, really, for a new play at the amphitheater here in Melitus. And it says, Heliod Triumphant. Go ahead and roll me an Insight or Arcana check.
Marginally better. Ooh, I was almost in that one, and it just booped right over, and now that's a total of 14.
Okay. You can tell that there is something amiss about this poster. There's something about the calligraphy. There's something off as you inspect it.
Okay. Klyx will look over this and say, thank you. There's something amiss here, and I think I need more time to investigate this fully. But perhaps time at the Pyrgnos, cross-referencing this would be of value, but I'm inclined to thank you for this. This feels like a lead.
You're most welcome. Krufix, guide you.
And you are pulled out of this memory.
Cool.
Gron, you are now nearly surrounded by this crowd. Their masks gleaming up at you. I'm going to need you to make one more wisdom save.
17.
That will pass.
There we go.
Hell
There we
yeah.
go. Yes.
I really thought this was going to be fucking Chain Bindings Redux, honestly.
No, that will pass. That will pass. Now, Klyx, back your way. I need you to make a perception check as somebody else takes their turn.
Gee, all these perceptions. Okay, fuck yeah. Fuck you. Tell me who this is. It's a 19.
Beyond the wall, which you are now searching for this secret passage, you can hear the sound of rushing water.
Quick, could I just insight that against what I saw in the map? Like, what the fuck would be running water? Or passive insight give me that? I don't even need to know what's making the water. I guess I would like to know, in my memory of the map, the blueprint that I got, is running water a normal sound to hear now? Or could this be illusory in nature or something?
I'll just give this to you. You would recall that there is a well of sorts down here somewhere. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, keep going. Wanted to just know if that's something that should put Klyx on guard for whatever comes next.
Yeah. Now, as you hear this, you can also hear...
I do hope you're enjoying the show. though without your guiding oracle of fate, oh, that's bold, Klyx, even for you. Or did they leave your merry company for good? Was it their fate?
This figure takes their turn beyond your sight, and we go back to the top with Gron.
Okay, so I think I exited my rage at the end of my last turn.
Yes.
Yeah, because I wasn't able to do anything. And they also didn't attack me. Let's see, I'm almost surrounded, but there's like 100 of them.
There's a lot of them.
I think you said 60 to 80, because then I thought about how many dice needed to get rolled.
Yeah, this is very clearly a lair interaction. I mean, you could spend, X number of rounds cleaving these guys down.
Yeah, Gron is here among all of these return mask figures, counting. Yeah, I don't think so.
The I don't think so is less of I can't win and more not worth my time. Is that an accurate read of that I don't think so? Yeah, totally. Because you could absolutely decimate this crowd.
Yeah, it would take all afternoon.
Yeah, who cares? Like, who could be bothered? Not Gron.
All right, so here's an idea. I'm going to attempt to enter my rage, target that lightning effect towards one of these figures towards the curtain, and hopefully get a leg up on moving in that direction.
Great.
All right, so I'm going to do that.
So that's a dex save?
Yeah, dex save.
That's a nat 1.
That's excellent.
A nat 1 on the blue dice.
Wow.
Ooh, that's what we like to see.
That's divine intervention.
Yeah, fuck that blue die. 4 lightning damage.
And this commoner goes down.
Yeah, conduct it right through his golden mask.
Commoners, total of 4 hit points.
That's right. Yeah, I'm going to push through the crowd in that direction, towards the curtain, as this lightning effect takes hold.
Yeah, you can run right over the one that you just knocked out, so you don't even have to make athletics or anything against the rest of the crowd. Towards this curtain, you can get there with 20 feet of movement, and you're at the curtain. You saw Klyx go through it, so you can find the opening, and you see these 2 paths as previously described. Go ahead and give me perception.
14.
Okay. As Klyx saw, you see one end has all of these props and costumes, and the other end has all of these set pieces that are scattered and knocked about. On that roll, you can actually see, since it's been opened by Klyx, a door on the floor where all of these pieces have been knocked out of the way.
All right, I'm going to go in that direction.
Okay, so that is another 30 feet, and you're at this trap.
I don't have 30. I have 20.
So you're closing in.
You haven't taken your action yet, I don't think.
You have
could
not taken
dash.
your action yet. You just entered your range.
That's a good point. Okay, or use my bonus action. Yeah, all right, why not? I'm going to dash and just jump into this trap door without even looking, because I can't see down there anyway.
Hell yeah. You jump down. Klyx, you hear the thud of a figure about 30 feet in the distance. With your dark vision, you can just barely make out. Gron has joined you.
Klyx?
Klyx would whisper in response to Atris, the Oracle of Fate may not be here, but my other friend is. I'm over here, Gron.
Where?
Nice.
It's not on my turn. There's not much I can do, really, besides keep saying over here.
I guess my rage is going to end again.
You could always get Klyx to hurt you. Payback for all this.
Run to the wall as hard as you can.
I guess it does end.
It'll end at the start of your next turn, because you just entered your rage at the beginning of this turn.
But it ends if your turn ends and you haven't attacked a hostile creature since your last turn or taken damage since then, and I have not taken damage.
But it says last, right? I would think that that is the previous turn.
But I didn't.
Right. You were held last turn. It's the problem of Gron wasn't in combat last turn. That's what's going on here.
That's true.
That's right. And we are 7th level. It's alright, I have 4 rages. It ends again.
Okay.
Great.
Gron just raging and unraging, this flurry of emotion. Gron ends his turn, and we go right on to Klyx.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to just head in the direction that I heard the voice, calling back out to Gron as I do so.
Okay, so you're right up against this wall.
Oh, right. It was the fucking wall. Yeah. Great.
Go ahead and give me investigation.
You know, my mod for acrobatics is much better. Could I just run across this wall in the hopes that I hit the trapdoor button?
You could try.
Just kidding. I'll give you investigation.
I mean, thief, you have climbing speed and all that stuff.
We're good. We're good. It's a 22 all day.
Oh, shit. Okay. You feel across this wall, and you find a small stone slab that appears to be a cutout, and you're able to push your hand and reveal a turning stone door. Rotates around as you find this hidden passage. Beyond it, you see a very narrow hallway, and at the end of it, about another 30 feet away, pale, dim blue light, and this sound of water now even louder.
And I've used none of my movement at this point in that investigation check?
None of your movement.
Okay. I'm going to head towards the pale blue light.
Okay.
Which is a sentence that doesn't feel comforting. But
you're an adventurer. Do the adventure.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly where we're at right now. So I'll just use my regular movement first, see if anything happens before I start to waste more of my turn economy.
Yeah. You're able to get all the way to the end of this corridor, and you come to this small stone chamber where these dim blue flamed sconces line the walls, and a weathered, plain-looking stone well sits in the center with swirling water. Klyx, go ahead and give me insight or history, please.
16.
You look at this space, and you recall the map. This should be where the statue of Phenax is. But instead, what you have found is something of a familiar scene. Klyx, you think back on that roll to when the errata took you below Akros on your passage back to the Citadel. This looks very similar to that. Not enough to be the same, but similar.
I don't know Hixus, but I know Hixus was lingering in that area. I can't really do anything about that information.
And Gron is 50 feet back from you now at this point. Keep that in mind as well. This is a pretty small room. All you see in here is this well with the swirling water.
Okay. And it reminds me of the errata that gave me passage?
Yes.
I think I'm just going to speak in Thieves' Cant and just see if I can leverage criminal contact to see if someone comes out.
Very cool.
Do any of the threads yet linger here?
I'm going to make you roll for this. Now, this can be pretty broad, so what do you think Klyx would roll for this?
I would say the mod's the same either way. I would say either performance or survival.
Okay. Performance
to connect with other people in this network, or survival because this network is used for the purpose of helping each other through situations.
Great. And is Klyx already proficient in survival?
Yes, but not performance.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll a survival check.
Cool. That's a total of a 19.
Okay, I'm going to make this another contested roll, because you're not the only one who has some power with whatever is in this chamber. And they got a 16. You see this water that's swirling here, slow and still, and then it begins shifting and swirling in the other direction as you see the walls behind this well begin lighting up, not with Phenax, but with the familiar masks of those errata that you remember seeing beneath Akros.
And my Thieves' Cant, thank you, friends. My debt yet to be repaid.
You still have an entire action and bonus action. If you want me to make you roll insight on this well, I will, but that's the only thing in this room.
Jump in heedlessly.
I know, that's what Klyx would normally do. Klyx is a smarter, more measured individual now, though. He's come a long way. I don't think anything's going to happen if I do this, but out of an abundance of caution, I'm just going to flick a coin into the well and just see if anything reactive happens.
Okay. The room is a bit more lit up now. These faces still dimly linger on the wall behind the well. You flick a coin, and it swirls down into this whirlpool. Go ahead and give me perception with advantage.
Better roll was a 16.
Great. You see the coin disappear.
In the Thieves' Cant. That's not that I don't trust you. That's just repaying the debt. I'll start with a bonus action dash, and Klyx will jump in.
Very cool. Klyx, you, with a dash, jump into this well, and we're going to resolve the rest of that in a minute.
Yeah, it feels about right. Okay, I'll have an action when I come out of there.
Great.
Cool.
The crowd is upstairs. They are no longer in play. We jump right back to Gron.
Klyx?
I said Klyx is more measured, but Klyx still isn't socially excellent just yet. We're not there yet. A better friend, but not a better Leonin.
I'm going to walk towards the only thing I can see, which is blue glow.
Okay, so that is 50 feet away.
Okay, I can walk 40 just with movement.
Yep, and that gets you just a little ways away from the start of this small chamber. You see this well, you see these glowing masks on the wall, and you see this dim blue light from the sconces.
Activate your rage just for the fucking meme of it.
No, I can only do that 4 times.
If you would like to roll insight, you can.
I might as well. I wouldn't have any reason to. Alright, it's 19.
Yeah, Klyx was here, and now he's not. There's no other doors in here. Maybe he jumped in the well?
Klyx hates baths.
Okay, there we go. I was like, wait, when did that become canon? But there was a bath discussion. Yes.
Didn't Klyx end up taking a bath by the end of the campaign?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't remember if it was a positive experience.
I just listened to that today. Gron rolled a nat 20 in the bath.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
That bath changed Gron's life.
That's right. Gron has all the water features now instead of the fire features.
So this well must be looking mighty appealing.
That's right. I could go for a dip. I guess I'm going to use my action to dash and just jump in.
Okay. Both of you having jumped in this well, you pass through this threshold, and at first it's quite cold. The water swirling around, but only a few seconds later, do you find yourselves thrust into chill, stale air. You find yourselves at the end of a large aqueduct egress that looks towards a polis. But it's more like the remains, the ruins of a polis. In the middle of a withered field, shrouded in gray smog and a desolate sky overhead. Fading away towards its ruined gates, you hear the laughter of the Oracle of Half-Truths overtop this scene. Sitting on top of this aqueduct, along the ruins of this perimeter wall, overlooking this necropolis, Scala, would you please introduce your character?
Finally. Yes.
The first thing that you would notice about Paravex is the faint whiff of a charcoal smell before you get a clear view of their features, dimly illumined by a fading fire. Looking closer, you see an aged human wearing layered bronze armor plates and a long skirt. A thin layer of ash clings to their clothing and skin, and flecks of it hang in their unkempt shoulder-length hair. Their hands are busied sharpening a wicked crescent blade, and a battered parma is strapped securely to their left arm. Reclining beside them, a large lioness with a dirty white coat growls anxiously as the figure turns their deep brown eyes towards these travelers appearing from nowhere. Looking at Klyx, I say in Leonin, "Hail, Iconoclast! You are welcome by my fire. You have come a long way from Oreskos to be here."
I'm welcome at your fire. Just me looking to Gron.
"And your companion as well."
That's what I thought.
"Tell me, Minotaur, have you renounced the gods as well?"
Not fully. No, I guess not.
I see. Well, then. Paravex hops off the edge of this aqueduct and stands up straight. "If your god has sent you here to kill a heretic, you will find that I am no easy prey."
We weren't looking for this person, were we?
Why don't you start by introducing yourself before we get into any unnecessary paranoia?
"Very well. I am Paravex. And you are?"
I'm Gron.
My name is Klyx, and before we came to this place, I requested aid from people I trust, but I don't believe you mark among them. Paravex, was it?
"Yes. I suppose I have offered you no reason to trust me."
Klyx, having just jumped in this well after using Thieves' Cant and Criminal Contact, will speak in the Thieves' Cant to Paravex to see if they react. The thread led me here, did it not?
Paravex cocks their head, confused, for a moment.
I do not swear by the gods.
This is in common, Scala?
Yes, in common.
Okay, I thought so. Near certain you don't speak Thieves' Cant.
I do not swear by the gods, but I do not know what oath will satisfy you. I swear on my own blade and on my knowledge as a scholar that I pose you no threat if you pose none to me, and that I shall always be honest with you.
That's good enough for me.
I'm going to roll insight on that one, if I may.
Go ahead.
I will always be honest. Warrants an insight check, even if you're not Andy. An 18 on the dice.
Okay.
18.
Well, if I were lying, that would be a nat 1. But you would see on this 18 the way that Paravex carries themselves and the tone that they say this with. You would get the sense that honesty is something that's very important to them.
Okay.
Being from the area in and around Phoberos, I know of exactly one necropolis. Might this be that place?
Gron, go ahead and roll history or insight, and with that background knowledge, you can make this with advantage.
Okay, that's pretty good. 16.
Okay, you're looking out at this scene. There's this strange figure that was seemingly camping here when you just dove through this portal, whatever this aqueduct is. You're certainly not in Melitus anymore, but on that, you're pretty sure you're also not looking at Odunos. This is not the necropolis of Erebos. This is somewhere else. Now, Klyx, as you see Gron scanning your surroundings, you look upon Paravex, and on that insight, I will also give you, they certainly don't look like a returned. They're certainly not in costume as a returned, but you don't know why or how they got here.
Clocking that Paravex responded in common. So you're not part of the guild, and clearly you're not aligned with Phenax. What brought us here?
I do not know what brought you here, but for my own part, perhaps our purposes may align. I seek passage into the realm below.
Oh, well, I can help you with that. Ron grips his axe tightly.
Paravex draws their crescent blade.
I do not fear you, Minotaur.
Oh, it wasn't a threat. I just thought if you need to go to the underworld. You know, I've helped many on their way to the underworld.
Then we have something in common.
3 fucking psychopaths laugh at the fact that they just murder.
I wish to make the journey and return with my corporeal form intact.
Oh, okay. I see.
As the two of you laugh,
Fucking maniacs.
all 3 of you can see passively in the periphery towards this necropolis as the gates begin teeming. You see through the haze a crowd forming. This one not of costumed audience members, but of sword and spear and bow-wielding. Klyx and Gron, you would immediately recognize these as the real thing. As their moans and cries of pain and desperation follow, this mob of returned seem to be headed your way.
All right.
Paravex, as the light from these return masks meets your eyes, I'm going to have you roll into the same initiative.
All right, here we go. Okay, that is just going to be a 9.
Paravex, was it?
Yes, Klyx.
I couldn't help but clock your scoff at the mention of Phenax. Looks like our opinions on the matter are similar. And you have experience helping people on their way to the underworld. Seems like our interests are aligned. And Klyx will reveal a bit of his short sword coming from his robe as he makes ready to go into battle with these returned.
So it would seem indeed.
We are back in initiative as these return approach. We are going to start from the top. That is still Gron.
right. How far are these guys?
Now you're between a gate and this perimeter wall that's in various states of ruin, and that distance is 60 feet.
All of us have DM'd now, and none of us have mastered the art of saying how far enemies are until someone asks how far they are in the first turn.
Oh, come on now. I had that entire amphitheater mapped out pretty good.
It's not always relevant. 60 feet, huh? Can I get there with 60 feet? Or do I need to go around?
No, you would be there. Large gates, they're approaching out of them. That's how far away they are from you right now.
Then I am going to run at them.
Nice.
Gonna use all my movement. That's 40 feet, and then I am going to enter my rage as a bonus action. And using instinctive pounce, I can move another 20 feet in the same bonus action, and that gets me there.
Hell yeah.
How many am I seeing in the immediate area?
There appear to be a couple dozen of them pouring out of these gates. Mechanically, these are returned hoplites.
Got it. Great. Okay, so I'm going to try to shock one of them.
Okay.
Make a dex save.
That is going to be a 17.
17 passes. You take 2 lightning damage.
Okay.
And I'm gonna start swinging with the Blood Axe of Fury.
Awesome.
Recklessly. That's 19 to hit.
19 will hit.
All right.
As you swing out at these, you can see some of them are humans, but the majority of them appear to be Leonin. Oddly enough, their half-decayed manes beneath their masks, their various curved blades, but quite a few of them have some pretty heavy armor and shields as well.
All right. Well, that's 13 slashing.
Okay.
And 2 necrotic. Swinging again.
Okay.
That's 23 to hit.
That will hit.
And that's only 8 more slashing. So, yeah, charge right up, raging, lightning bolt flying out of me, swinging this axe.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you swiftly cut down a pair of these, but the fallen ranks are quickly filled in by this approaching mass of returned. That is going to be Klyx.
Okay, gonna run up. Gron dispatched the ones that were nearby, so there's none that are currently in a threatened area.
So this is the thing with hoplites, is there a unit of multiple people? So technically there are.
Okay, just determining if I need to spend a bonus action to hide first or not to get sneak attack. But it sounds like I don't, so I'm just going to go in. So Klyx sees the distance between himself and Gron and these horde of returned, and will cover that distance. I'm going to go ahead and use my full movement and bonus action dash, drawing my blade to attempt a sneak attack.
Hell yeah.
I roll a 21.
That'll definitely hit.
Klyx draws his blade, and seeing Leonin wider amongst these ranks of return, says, I wish I could teach you what I know, but you'll have to find out on your own. As I do. It's a total of 22 slashing damage.
Awesome. Klyx, so you've cut into these. You fell another as another fills its place, spear and shield in hand, glowing return mask. It appears, Gron and Klyx, as you've jumped into the fray, as though there are 3 of these units of these returned massing at the gates here. You've already made swift work of one of them. Appears to almost be completely destroyed already. Was that all from Klyx?
Yes, it was.
As we go to one of these returned hoplites, the one engaged with Klyx and Gron right now, there are not many left in their number. Even so, they're going to lash out. First thing that happens is you see Klyx a spear towards you. That is going to be a 17 to hit.
That does hit. The rest of my dice. Rest of the dice. There are more. Good.
No, I only had like a couple of d20s and stuff out. So. Okay. Pretty good roll. That's going to be 17 piercing damage.
Fuck.
As they strike into you.
Oh, they strike.
As they do that, Gron is going to take an attack of opportunity using Sentinel.
Nice.
Yes.
Klyx is also going to use Uncanny Dodge as a reaction. Alright, and take only 8 damage instead.
Nice. 25 to hit.
That'll definitely hit.
And 12 slashing damage.
Awesome. Gron, go ahead and paint a picture as you fell the remaining return of this hoplite unit.
Here we go.
Those 3 words. I haven't heard those in a while.
As these last few go to attack Klyx, and Klyx uncannily dodges, Gron sees an opening and swings this blood axe of fury, just completely bowling them over.
Hell yeah. Yeah, you cleave the rest of them down. They fall, and their remaining 2 attacks can now no longer be taken, because they're gone.
See ya.
Yes.
Paravex, you got a 9 on initiative?
Correct.
Okay, and I rolled these separately, so it is now Paravex's turn.
Yes, let's see this kit.
Okay.
What do we got?
Not going to do anything too spicy right off the bat. There's a whole necropolis in front of us. Anyway.
Paravex, as you see these 2 travelers, adventurers, leap into battle against these returned, these wayward, desecrated souls of Phenax, your lion companion leaps down, and with a growl, you hear, mixed within this roar, her voice.
Closer, you're getting closer.
Come, Pumice.
Nice.
If these dead are all that stand in our way, then nothing stands in our way.
I'm going to use half of my movement to mount up on my lion.
Hell
Are
yeah.
you fucking kidding me? Yes. Cool.
I'm going to run 10 feet closer.
Okay.
Are all of the units clumped together?
So, Klyx and Gron slew the middle one.
Okay.
So there's about a 15-foot gap between the 2 as they come out of these gates.
Cool. In that case, I've always been partial to the left. I'm going to conjure a flaming sphere in the center of the leftmost unit of return.
Hell yeah.
That's gonna be it.
What kind of save is that?
It's a dex save if a creature ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere.
Oh, so it doesn't immediately deal any damage?
It's like a cloud of dagger sort of effect, right?
Right.
Excuse me, I should have read the second paragraph. As a bonus action, I'm going to force them to make a save by moving the sphere around in their midst.
Very cool.
Oh, that's cool shit.
So yes, Paravex holds out their blade, and this smoking orb of volcanic cinder manifests right in the midst of these returned and starts coughing and spitting these chunks of igneous goop all over these undead.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Hell yeah. Literally fucking Dark Souls spells over here.
Yes.
They got a 4.
Cool. Since this was with a warlock spell slot, it is a 3rd level spell. So there's some additional damage. 10 fire damage.
Okay.
That'll be my turn.
After Paravex, we have the unit that is currently enveloped in a flaming sphere. So they are going to spend their turn moving out of the sphere, and they begin charging towards you, Paravex.
Okay.
You see the archers among them, ready shots, and these necrotic-tipped underworld bolts are volleyed towards you as they charge. Jesus, God, man, I don't know what's going on. That was a 7 total from the first hit.
Yeah, that'll miss.
This is a 15 total on the second.
Glances off my armor.
And the final of 3 fucking attacks. Let's see what we got here. Okay, that's going to be a dirty 20.
Yeah, that'll get me.
Okay. That is going to be 10 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
And for the next round, if it matters, you cannot regain any of those hit points.
I maintain concentration on the flaming sphere.
Their turn, we go to the final unit of returned. They are going to engage with Klyx and Gron, and the first attack will be a shield bash against Gron. That is going to be a 14 to hit. Nope. Second attack is going to be a slash longsword at Klyx. That's going to be a 17 to hit.
17 hit last time. It also hits this time.
I'm trying to make these attacks pretty random. Sorry.
No, it's good. No, I think you're doing really well there, honestly. Yeah.
Thank you. That is going to be 8 more slashing. And then the final one is going to be a Ray of Frost at Gron. You can see one of these returned mages perhaps at one time in their previous life a scholar in Melitus or some other learned place, but now undead. This flurry of blue energy streaks towards you, and that is going to be a 19 to hit.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you hate to see a 1 on a D8. That is 1 cold damage.
Oh no.
But your speed is halved until the end of your next turn. Not that it fucking matters.
I'm not going anywhere anyway.
It's Gron's turn.
Okay. Gron shivers a little bit and then shakes it off. All right. Well, let's see here.
Thanks for giving him a reason to stay raged. 1 damage.
That's true.
I also attacked last turn.
You attacked, I know, but still.
What the hell? I'm going to use Wrathful Smite.
Nice.
Yeah, my eyes glow red. I'm not cold at all anymore.
Hell yeah.
And I'm going to just start swinging recklessly, because that's what I do. 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
16 slashing, 5 necrotic, and 6 psychic.
Nice.
And a wisdom saving throw, please.
Wisdom, that's going to be a 9.
I don't remember what my spell save DC is, but...
It's not a 9.
Probably more than 9.
It's definitely more than 9. So they are frightened.
Nice. This gift from Mogus. As you slash into these, you can hear a wicked laughter in your ear, one that you have not heard in quite some time.
Yes. First he's returned. Then the nightmare mutants. We are not done hunting them.
Gron's not going to say anything outwardly, but, he's thinking just a little bit longer. We're going to work with Mogus here. Our priorities are aligned, and you know what?
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Mogus is reasonable. You don't get the name God of Slaughter for being unreasonable.
Gonna do it again. The next one's 27 to hit.
Jesus Christ.
I'm adding 9 every time. This is great. And that's just the slashing for 9 slashing.
Nice. Already taking a good chunk out of this returned hoplite. Anything else from Gron?
I don't think so.
We are back to Klyx.
Attack it is.
How you looking, Klyx?
Klyx is still looking decent. That's a natural 20.
Okay. Okay.
It's probably going to be a lot. Oh my god. Hold on. It's 49 slashing damage.
Jesus Christ. Holy shit.
Sneak attack crits.
Yes.
Klyx, paint a fucking picture. Mad lad.
While normally these sorts of blows are reserved only for Klyx's short sword, Klyx measures this band of returned hoplites, counts their ranks, and decides to just sneak really right into the center of them and just deliver a flurry of measured stabs into their necks and sides, slashing at their thighs and ankles, and just taking down this entire group one by one between his dagger and short sword.
Fucking
I like that.
Rad. Hell yeah.
And then as they collapse, we'll just smile at Gron and then say, let's take a minute and see what that one can do, why don't we? Nodding up to Paravex as Paravex and the one final unit of hoplites remain.
After Klyx, that is Paravex. The remaining unit is still 20 feet away.
Okay. Bonus action, I'm going to ram my flaming sphere into this band.
Okay.
That's really cool.
That is a 16?
Just barely, yep.
Okay.
DC 15. But they do
Okay.
still take half of 10. 5 more fire damage. And that was just my bonus action.
It's a really good spell to cast early in combat, though. Just getting spell damage is a bonus action. That's great.
Yeah, no, it's nice. And then I am going to have Pumice pounce upon these hoplites. So first we make a... Yes, it's a claw attack. Okay, so does an 18 hit?
An 18 just hits.
Okay, so they need to make a strength save now.
That is an 11.
The DC is 13. They're knocked prone.
Hell yeah.
Also, the claw does damage. 4 points of slashing damage. Pumice can now use a bonus action to make a bite attack.
Yeah, go ahead.
But a 12 probably doesn't hit. Oh wait, they're prone, advantage. Does an 18 hit?
Again, an 18 just hits.
Okay, so that's going to be 8 points of piercing damage.
Hell yeah.
And now I am going to make my attacks.
As this lion tears into this troop, Klyx and Gron, you swear in the roars and screeches of this lion, you can hear it talking in ashen and choked voice.
Yes, closer. We are closer.
Good vibes coming from Paravex and Promise, for sure.
It says right in the spell text, divine steeds can speak. This ain't no Scully.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a Celestial. That's a 25 to hit on the first attack.
Absolutely fucking hits.
Okay. And that's going to be 12 points of slashing damage.
Jesus. Grievously injured.
Okay, I have a second attack. 24 to hit.
Hits. Mind you, these are all with advantage because this fucking lion pounced on them and half of them are on the ground flailing around.
Yup. Indeed. So that's going to be 10 more slashing damage.
Okay. Paravex, paint the final picture.
Oh, we all got a kill in this. That's great.
Very close on that one, just enough.
Paravex, astride their lion, pounces into this fray, causing disorder and chaos among the ranks, and then those few stragglers that still seem to have some fight in them, Paravex just ruthlessly cleaves down with this wicked crescent moon blade that seems to trail with smoke and cinder as it cuts through the air and driving these ranks back into the spluttering magma ball that's behind them. This whole unit just collapses under this assault.
Yes, our path forward will be bathed in the blood of these fools who follow their gods.
Why don't we calm down a little bit with this, huh?
What would you have me do? The servants of Phenax, they pervert existence with their deceptions. This is the least they deserve.
There are many flaws across every devotee of every god. Many deserve death, but measured, Paravex. Stay measured. Trust me on this one. Losing your composure gives them the advantage every time. Klyx will sheath his weapons.
Not in my experience, but alright.
Yeah.
As the dust settles from this combat, you see the shroud of haze billowing out of the gates in front of you. In the distance, peeking above, ruined columns and buildings, as you have arrived at this necropolis, at the chase of Atris, his laughs still echoing in the putrid air. The three of you hear. You are out of your depth, heroes of Akros. Good luck finding me. Welcome to the necropolis of heretics. And that is where we will end our first game.
Scala, I thought we had a cat friend last season. Like, why do we need another one?
We always need a cat friend.
I actually wouldn't argue with that. Especially after some of the pounce action we saw in this combat. Not bad at all.
Oh, man. What a great introduction.
Hell yeah.
Pods of the Multiverse is produced by Jimmy Affatigato and edited by Scala, with music by Andy Berger, that's me, and art by Alexa Reilly. Thanks to our Patreon supporters, and a special thanks to our Holy Avengers, May, Jake, Chris, and John. For $5 a month on Patreon, you can access every episode of Table Talk, our weekly variety show produced by Geppi.
Holy shit, it's in big caps,
Can we do
Play it like you didn't forget.
Thanks for listening.